Hey guys, Tim here with the Long Hair Gardener, and today I'm going to be planting up some amaryllis. If you can see here in the background, I already have one that I've planted and it is already in full bloom and looks amazing. One of the fun things about amaryllis is that you can determine when you want them to bloom. So the one that is already blooming, I started a few weeks ago. I have some that I want to plant today, and then I have some that are already in pots that I'm going to attempt to break dormancy as well. So these plants are typically known as Christmas or winter plants, but really it's up to you to determine when you would like them to bloom within reason. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's take a look at this beautiful one that I already have in bloom, and then I will plant up some other ones here. So I just wanted to give you a closer look at this one. It's a beautiful red one with a slightly darker center here. There are so many different varieties and colors of amaryllis, but this one here just happens to be mostly red. And if we go down here, I do have another bud coming, so there is going to be a second bloom stalk on this bulb, which is exciting because this is a relatively small bulb. When you get bulbs like this one right here, this one is now 2 years old for me. This is a very large bulb. So for this type of bulb, or the size of bulb, I would expect to get 2 or 3 bulb stalks. So it's pretty exciting that I was able to get 2 just from this small bulb right here. I mentioned that you can, although these are winter plants or Christmas plants, you can determine when you want yours to bloom within reason by breaking the dormancy of the bulb. And you just simply do that by bringing them to a warm spot in your house, maybe in a window, and also watering them. So to help the dormancy period end a little bit faster, I have put these bulbs, let me come down here, in some water. So I'm just going to hold this up here. Hopefully you can see that this bulb's roots are sticking in the water, but not the actual bulb. And by doing this, it allows the bulb, and you can see right here above my finger, there are some new roots that are coming along, which is a good sign. That means that this is breaking dormancy. You want to make sure that the bulb is not in the water and that only the roots are in the water. So you want to do this, you want to put them in the water from anywhere from 12 to 24 hours, just so that the bulb can really absorb that water. Once the bulbs are planted, they actually don't require much watering at all. You can see this particular bulb has some leaves coming on this side, and this is the actual bud where the flowers will appear. So these 2 bulbs and this one that is blooming back here came from the same company, delivered at the same time, and I am able to get them to bloom at different times based on when I water them and break them from their dormancy. So I like to stagger my bulbs so that they're not all blooming at the same time. So this one, this red one back here, is already in full bloom. Do have a second stalk coming along here. And now I am ready for these guys to break their dormancy. These should probably be ready to bloom around Christmas. The 2 bulbs that I have back here are already potted up. I'm also going to water today, but I am not going to soak them or put their roots in water, so that these will hopefully bloom in January. That way I have blooming amaryllis for a few months rather than just all at once during the Christmas season. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant up these 2 bulbs right here. When you're choosing a pot for your Amaryllis, the general rule is to make sure that the pot isn't too big. An Amaryllis only needs about 1 inch all the way around the bulb to the edge of the pot. So you can see back here, this one, it's same thing, maybe about 1 inch to the edge of the pot because this is a much smaller bulb. And I'm going to use this vintage pot for these 2 bulbs right here. I'm not going to recommend using a pot like this because it does not have any drainage hole, but because I have soaked these bulbs in water, the bulbs themselves should have absorbed a lot of water, and I'm going to water these very sparingly in this actual pot. So let's get started. I'm just going to start by putting some soil in here and then just sitting the bulbs in this pot. Amaryllis do not have very large root systems, so another reason why I am choosing this pot is because it's going to be a little snug and hopefully it will support the bulb and the long stalk. So this one back here, the wind is blowing off and on, and I'm afraid it's going to blow over because the bulb is basically just kind of sitting in the soil. So let's get started putting the bulbs in this planter right here. Because this pot does not have any drainage, I'm going to go ahead and pre-moisten this soil. That way I don't have to worry about pouring water directly into this pot and maybe overwatering it initially. All right, I'm going to pull these out of here. And I think I am going to not worry about taking off any of this papery covering on these particular bulbs. So all I'm going to do is just sit these in here. Just coming in here and maybe removing any roots that look like they're not in the best shape, but I think this is okay. Alright, these are all finished. How simple was that? Now all I have to do is just put it in a warm spot with some sun until I start to see some leaves and a bloom stalk, and then these will be ready to enjoy. So the bulbs that I have from last year, I'm just going to clean up a little bit. All I'm going to do is remove some of this papery coating on the outside because it's a little thick. I should probably mention I am doing this outside because I don't really have a great place to do this inside where I'm going to be making a huge mess. As you can see, I'm just kind of throwing stuff all over the place because I'm outside. Oh, and it looks like as I dig away here, I have a new bulb that is forming on the side, which is fantastic. So maybe I will get another whole Amaryllis out of this mother bulb. And I can see already, same situation right here, there is a leaf stalk coming right here, which means this one is also producing another pup or baby bulb on the side. So because these are in terracotta pots that have drainage holes in the bottom, all I'm going to do is just water these in really well. This is a different method than I used for these bulbs. These bulbs I soaked the roots in water so that they could drink up that water and absorb it into the bulbs. These I'm just going to water well into these pots. The initial watering, I'm going to water it pretty heavily until the water comes out the bottom, and this will hopefully help break the dormancy. Whenever you water amaryllis, make sure to water the soil around the base of the bulb, and do not pour water directly over the top here. If water gets down inside, it has a greater chance of rotting. So you can see water is pouring out the bottom here, and that is all I needed to happen. So hopefully that will be enough for these to break dormancy. I'm going to top dress these a little bit with some fresh soil. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that soil that I pulled out for the other amaryllis. And I think that looks pretty good. All right, these bulbs are all ready now to be taken inside and enjoy over the winter time. Like I mentioned, I am planting these up outside just because I don't have a good space inside. These are indoor plants that bloom in the winter time, but you can't keep them outside in the wintertime or they will die. I'm only outside because I don't want to make a mess in my apartment. Something I didn't mention is that when you plant your amaryllis, I know it probably seems unusual if you're used to planting like tulips or daffodils where you would submerge the bulb completely in the soil. Amaryllis like to be sticking out of the soil. So you can see you maybe want the bottom third of the bulb covered by soil, and the rest is going to stick out. But that is everything to get these amaryllis started. I hope you plant some amaryllis this winter season so that you have something to enjoy over the cold months if you live somewhere that experiences cold. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe. You will want to follow along, because hopefully I will be able to have a follow-up video where I show you what the rest of these amaryllis look like. So thank you again and have a great day. I will see you on the next garden video.